We are back on Mimas. I had said that I was going to set up the solar panels offline, but I changed my mind. I'm going to set them up now. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to print a few transformers, printed a few cables, and I'm going to print 2 active vents. Let's build some frames. This stuff is for something else. Okay, 1 more vent. Okay, that finished the transformers. Good. Checking my notes here quick, just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, there's one thing. I set up heavy cables connecting out this way. This is where the solar is going to be. I also connected the portable gas generator, so that should be we can make more power out of that. I was checking to make sure because apparently I'd missed a pipe over here, which means that whole system wasn't even doing anything. And we forgot to turn that on. Okay, let's get that started again. We have our active vents, good. We'll leave them there for later. Transformers. So I printed these so that we can have a separate network for the solar panels. So this is going to be the cable coming in to the power. Whereas this one, you can see I branched it off from here, cycling over and going out this way. This is going to supply the logic for the solar panels. And I'm putting a transformer here, even though it's the same cable on both sides, because eventually it will be heavy cabled. Okay, one last transformer because I want to. I was doing a little bit of mining, forgot that belt on. I want to get all power coming out of here to come through a transformer first, just to make sure we don't have any cable blowouts. Yeah, I think out this way would be best. And, well, since we're at it, we're moving out an extra 1, just in case we ever feel like hooking up the data connection. Almost done. There we go. Switch that on. I have a macro that just does a rapid left click. That's what I use for things like that. You can also use the, I think I mentioned it last time, the labeler, but then I'd have to find it, and well, that was easier. Okay, so this is for the second project we're going to be working on here. Back to the original plan. So one thing I forgot to note when I was talking about the logic is that there are 2 varieties to solar panels. There's the solar panel dual, and then the just regular solar panel. And that's relevant because if we have batch writer, yeah, we'll hook both of them up. Okay, so we have a batch writer. The batch writer will only be able to select one of those types. So we have the dual, which is this version, and then the regular solar panel, which is that version. We can't tell a batch writer to write to both. So when you're building these, it would be recommended to to just use the normal ones, unless you have some large plan involving it. If you, I've contemplated having these solar panels on this side and then a string of duals on the other, so that you can have the data on one side, the power going on the other, so that you can use one heavy cable between the rows. I'll just demo here. So the heavy power cable here, and then on the other side will be the data. And to each their own. I tend to avoid it. Okay, this one will be the logic reader. That one needs a little bit of space because it needs the processor in there. Well, that's the memory. Put that up here. There we go. There's the processor. I suppose I could. Oh, and I think I had the wrong one. Yeah, it's unary right now. Maybe it was right, but either way, there. So now the output can come straight across like that. And this one, we can't do that trick. We gotta bring it out like there. Okay, we can bring that straight across. This one needs a four-way intersection, as does this one. Junction, junction. Oh, no, that one doesn't actually need a connection on both sides. It just needs one on one side. We'll turn that on. Have all these cable left. Let's see, I didn't grab the labeler. I suppose let's do it right. I could probably get it set up without it, but this will make it a little bit easier. Log mem vertical adjustment. Log read vertical. Log math vertical. Log read horizontal. Oh, batch writer for horizontal. I think this one was. And this one's the vertical. As I was doing that, I remembered something I had forgotten to do, which is that. So we can actually make that a four-way intersection. And if you want the specifics on this, I recommend watching my previous video where I go over it in more detail. Oh, we have a few solar panels still. There we go. Okay, so this one we needed to set to 90. Daylight sensor for the vertical. Now we're going to grab the memory adjustment and the vertical read. Did I? Yeah. There's only one option there, which is the right one. We're outputting to the solar panels at the vertical setting. And I'll work forward. Daylight sensor again, horizontal from the read of the horizontal. Writing to, oops, already had solar panel selected. And vertical, or nope, this one's horizontal. And there we go. Okay, looks like the sun's going to be rising in a little bit here. It's it should be pointing, down that way, but due to the minimum on the vertical adjustment, it can only go down to 15 degrees. So yeah, it should poke out pretty soon. I think I need a large battery to keep that running overnight, but I'll do some testing. Okay, so we should be getting some in here. Or, well, not yet, of course, but it should start trickling in when it's morning. All right, let's make some walls. So the second project that I'm going to be working on here is to do with the furnace. We're gonna move the furnace a little bit. That's good enough. And our primary goal of it is to keep as much of the heat in it as we can, because that's a lot of lost power. Okay, that's good enough. And I think I'm going to move it right where the red crate is sitting. And then we're going to create an enclosed area for it. So if we have enough pressure around it, it will hold in, I think, all of its heat if we do it right. Oh, and I just remembered another thing I need to make on here. I should have just let it print while I was away. Okay, container mounts we'll just put over there for now. That's fine. We'll clean that up later. I'm going to remove these frames, so I got to get everything off of them. And we're going to set down steel frames instead. That's why I printed these. I'm not going to set that one up just yet. Okay, now we have these steel plates, so we can weld these up. And I shouldn't have done that one first. I should do the one beneath it, so it's easier to find. One more. And then we'll wait on this one still. File that stuff away since I'm here. All right, we also printed some walls. These are composite walls. We'll have one in the back there. I may as well show you what they look like. I think the plastic's in this one. Nope, blue one must be. I knew it was in one of the ones I moved. There they are. So composite walls need plastic to build up. There are other variants, such as the, there's three types of wall, and then one type that is windows. And the windows, you put one plastic sheet in it for the first upgrade, and the second upgrade is a glass sheet. But we're not going to use this one right now, the windows right now, because we want a higher pressure resistance. So if we find the walls, and I should have specified kit wall. Okay. So if we look at the windows, they have a max pressure of 200 kPa, whereas the composite wall type 1 has 300 kPa. I think all of the different wall types have 300. And I was just noticing the sun is coming up. So we're drawing in some power from there. Not much. Good time to mention this. So this first one's getting a good amount, but all the rest aren't. And you're probably wondering, why would I set it up like this? That's crazy. And the answer is because the Mimas is very different. Once the sun is past, right, when it's right about there, all of them will be getting as much sunlight as they can. And I'm pretty sure that you'll get more electricity setting them up this way, as opposed to most of the planets where you'd want to set them running out this way, north to south rather than east to west, because the sun is much higher in the sky. The morning light that they won't miss the morning light then, and they can soak it all up, and you don't need to worry about the panels blocking each other because it's so high in the air. So yes, Mimas is different. Okay, that's some good progress on that. Oh, nope, I didn't want to open that one. I wanted to open that one. We'll vent out some of that. Oh, I have the active vents in my hand. Oh, this is going to be partially a temporary setup, so we're just going to set them there. And then we're going to grab all of this stuff. I actually found a use for that processor. And we're going to do a logic writer. I'm going to put a gas sensor in here, just in case we ever want to capture kind of what's going on in there. And I printed a logic memory as well. Now, the reason I have those active vents there, oh, I have that in my inventory. One is going to be blowing air out of a pipe network into this chamber, and this one, the top one here, is going to be drawing into the same pipe network, which probably sounds a little strange, but what we're doing is we're going to make sure that there's at least 100 kPa of air in there at all times, and we want to prevent it from going up to 300. So I'll probably set at about 200, the one pulling the gas out. So active vent. This is drawing into the pipe network, so we'll name this one inward, and we'll name this one outward. And that's after these. So it's outward, even though it says set inward. What that means is that if you click on it, it's going to set it to pull inward. One of those things that you have to get used to about the game. I think I can switch this off and that off. Save a little bit of power. Let's let more of that in. And get to hooking this stuff up. And we moved our pipes over here. Yeah, same one as before. So we'll use that one insulated pipe. I think I ended up placing that one or removing it off screen. In the end, they're all going to be insulated, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm going to bring them out separately for now. I don't think they'll be separated in the end, but... And as mentioned, we want to insulate these to make sure as little gas as possible escapes. And the pipe network here should be able to contain the gas we're going to put in there. And I'm just going to siphon some off of the pipe here. I'll figure something out. I'll probably do that offline because we want to pull the gas out of here before we move it. Okay, that one's good. All right, that's got a little bit of temperature left to it, so we'll let it keep going. Oh, you can put the adhesive insulation into tool slots. I may have known that, but if so, I forgot about it already. Okay, line this up. Actually, I'm going to have more stuff over here, so I may as well line it up there. Because eventually we'll replace this with the advanced furnace. Should do the 3-corner, but that one's sometimes a little hard to... Well, not necessarily hard to find, but it takes a little more time. Whereas that, I could just spin it and it's done. Okay, so we have all those connected up. Now, why I did this. This is so that we can set the external safeties. As you mouse over it, you see it says the external safety is set to 101 kPa. This is the outward vent. It's pulling the gas out, so we want that one to be kind of our minimum pressure. So that one was 150, I think I said. We'll do one large, which is just clicking on it with the mouse. Hold C to do increments of 10. So 150, input from the logic memory. And I'm not going to bother naming these because these are temporary. Oh, okay, there's another active vent on the network. Ah, that's that one, I bet. Good thing I labeled them then. All right, so outward. And setting is pressure external. Yeah, external safety. Click it on. There we go, 150. Now we're going to select the inward vent. And we're going to do external safety again. This one we're going to do 250. Turn it on and off. There we go, 250. So what that's going to do on this one is it's only going to draw air in if it's above 250. And actually thinking about that, I wonder if I should do 200. That'll work. And then I can just decrease that. There we go. Because I don't necessarily need a large buffer. Okay, that's pretty much it. From here, I'm gonna put this in the wall, but I want to get it sealed up first. Set all those off to the side. And I guess, yeah, there is one more thing. I want to do a logic switch. Okay, this is the wrong logic. I think I wanted the I/O. Logic I/O. Gonna be wrapping up in just a sec here. Just remembered one other thing we can do. The mushrooms are probably grown and maybe even seeding by now. So when we set up the furnace in there, we're going to want to have a way of opening and closing the lever. And I think, yeah, here we go. Logic writer switch. And we'll just hook that up from here to the data port up here. And this isn't the final place. I just want you to be able to see that we can select output furnace. And I believe it's open. I believe that's what controls that lever is the open state. Okay. Once this cools down, I'm going to disassemble it and move it over into here. And then we'll need to get some chutes set up. And actually, when I was doing this, I didn't account for chutes coming out. I might have to move one of those vents. We'll see. And I'll leave it open so that the kind of final placement will be on screen. Okay, that is about it for that. Let's go in here. As I said, I'd harvest the mushrooms if they're ready.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical.
Yep, they're all seeding. Okay. And that is all 10 of those. Now from here, rather than using the previous harvest to seed them, I'll use the seeds we get from that stage. But still, you know, since we want those 10, we're going to use these still. Okay. We shall see you next episode.